Friday. I don't know why. My whole day's been off. Come on, things. I'm pretty sure everything's running. It's running right. It is running good. Alright. But there we go. Alright, sweet. I finished writing these, right? Yeah. Okay. Hello. I have begun, I think. Strangely quiet. This is the first time I came in here and there was nobody here already in the stream. That was really weird. Isn't listening, buddy. Anyways, so we're back to working on this again. I was gonna bring up the question thing, but I'm gonna wait till more people show up. So I think the last time I'm starting to work on the Silvadel one here. I think this weekend I'll try, though I don't think I'll succeed because I'm lazy, but I'm going to try to split this file up. I'm not sure where, because I have to make sure I don't break at like points that normally have call that fades between. Hello. Actually, I just realized something with this. What's the focus on this? I thought I have it jump. Out of focus here. Gotta fix my focus. So this is the point that I think it stops. So I need to make sure that that pink line is on him. So I have the fade time. So at about this point, let's see at that point. This point. I care about the beginning. And you know, I'm just going to care about the middle. It's right here. And this focal distance is hard to work with because I have such a large amount because I have to zoom so far out afterwards. Okay, this is going to be a fun bar to play with. I'm making it wider. If I need to, I can put it on the other monitor and really extend it, or have that extra flexibility with it. But it's weird because like if I'm increasing it and I stop, say right here, and I let go, it'll jump it up one frame or one little bit. So I have to stop before the face. So it goes right there. All right. So that should be good for the majority. Yep. This again, pink line. So this, And it's hard too because this rebounds, so I have to see where it is at the frames. So here it's correct. And then where does it hit its farthest point past him? Leaving this, depending on the direction I'm going, I'm going to have to just play this slow. So it does go past, and then goes back to there. So where is it hit its max and our point? Right about here. And then about... It's almost immediate. You see there, and then it's so hard to judge. See if that works. It'll work. Hello. Happy Friday. I think I want to figure out the lighting and stuff here first before I figure out their positions, because I don't want to have it where the position that I end up choosing is gonna, or the lighting that I end up choosing ends up destroying the way they look. So like this, I feel the aperture might be a bit high for her. Also, I feel like the light, yeah, I think the aperture is just high. Do I add to play with the aperture in this? I do not. Animating aperture though is so hard, because technically I'd have to have it more blurred here. So like normally I'd have the aperture say here down to like maybe this. Let's just say that. But when it gets closer to him, so for this jaunt, from like here to here, aperture should actually be increased, because it's closer. But last time I tried doing that, it didn't work out so hot. Actually, I don't even know if that's going to be worth it. I think it's almost better just to keep it clear. The motion blur does it. Actually, I don't think his eyes are focused on this camera anymore. So his eyes do that. So okay, so now I need to just zero this onto the camera. Okay, now there's more people there. So yeah, if people do have questions and whatever about SFM, or want me to explain things in detail, let me know. Don't be afraid to speak up. That's why we're here. This armor, it's Skyrim. It literally, it's literally just the, I can't remember which one. I did this once before with, I think I took a pyro, the machine pyro from Anderson Machine, and melded it into a set of armor for that one stupid video I never finished. And so I just tried the same thing here, where it just, because when it comes to armor and stuff, as long as it's looks good, who cares? So it's just jammed a bunch of stuff together. Oh, I haven't user. No, this should be user mod, I think. I think I just spelled Khajiit wrong. Yep, that's what I thought. Ah, there's two eyes. Okay, whatever. No, it's just this. So I just took that and jammed it wherever I needed, so you can see this part right here of the armor is on his front legs. It's not gonna work for like battle situations or whatever. Like, thankfully the next part I need him in, he's not armored, so he's just pony. But yeah, that's all. If you have coin, Khajiit has wares. So, yeah, you can do it with really any armor. I think the actual chest piece is the chest piece. It just takes a lot of scaling, locking, and positioning. But if I were to have them walk, it wouldn't work. So, like, right now, I don't think I finished it. That's why the legs look weird. Because I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it or not. Technically, he's supposed to have more of, like, knight's armor, but there's none that exists that I can mold into something that looks good on pony, so I just didn't bother. And so, like, here, all he really does, his body just barely moves. It just churns, but I didn't need it to, because with how the camera is, you don't even notice it. The northern armor set. It's not a full armor, but I could probably actually use that. The one thing I had a problem with right now was his legs. I didn't know how to fill the part for his legs. This actually could. I don't know what the helmet, but I might actually try that. How old is that? Is that new? Okay, yeah, within the last week or so. That could have be good timing. Get over there. Northern. I'll give it a shot. Oh, another one video I finished. I was using a bit of audio that somebody had mashed together of Bravest Warriors and the Super Saiyan 3 theme. And I thought it was funny, and it talks about horse because it uses the scene with where they're running with the paralyzed horse guy. Yeah, I don't know how it worked for full armor, but Actually, I wonder if it would work for some of these other people, too. It's weird that these are separate, but I'm actually not going to complain either. Yeah, let's give this a shot. I think those are supposed to be like wool or something, but I can probably just, well, I'll have to retexture these no matter what, because it's supposed to be gold armor. I thought I tried to change it. Oh no, I hadn't. I don't think I changed all of it, because originally this was all glass and I retextured it to be gold. I just hadn't actually done the body armor yet, so all of it will be gold in the end. That actually could work. I'll leave that there. But now I'm curious. Oh, let's call me gloves. With the other one, if it will work for the other group. So I'm going to leave him be. I have the such power over your computer apparently. Let's see here. There's the female one. This is the only one I really care about. I loaded in the wrong one. That actually could work. I think I might change the bump maps on there. I hope those are bump maps. You didn't actually texture that. Okay, good. I was like, if that's not bump maps, wow, he spent a lot of time for something that would have been so easily otherwise. Yeah, because right now it looks like bumpy. But I think adding in just like cut metal might actually look better. My only concern is how he textured it. It's going to take some fixing some of the clipping issues around there, but I think that actually could work. I'm gonna keep it for now, and I will see. I'm kind of curious though. Like right now, I feel that it. I know before I copy the other ones, I'll figure it out here. Where is the armor? Well, I'm in the wrong shot. This one. Did I grab the wrong one? I did. Maybe there won't be clipping issues. No clipping issues, even better. I just had to watch the arm. It goes through the armor a little bit on the side here. And I'm not sure how much control this thing gives. Very little. I can play with it though. Alright. Oh crap, more an armor. Alright, we're gonna make this thing look a little different. Alright, what does this look like? Oh, that is actually strange, and I'm not complaining. I thought that would have been like just one giant mesh of it, but they split it up into pieces, so it actually made it easy to figure out. So this is all different textures. Ha! Weird, but awesome. Alright. So this is kind of stony. I don't want stone. I want metal. Yes. Okay, so this is the main body mesh, which is, I think, way too strong of a bump map. I might turn that down. Well, it may actually work in most situations, but for the lighting in the situation that this is in, I don't think it worked. I'm trying to get my coffee down. I need to do a reset. I've spent so long drinking, because normally with coffee, you can't. Caffeine's a drug. So it's if I have 1 cup a day, eventually I start having a little bit more. Then it's 2 cups, and then 3 cups, and I was at 4 cups, and I was like, I need to pull myself away from it and then let myself acclimate to no coffee and then go back to it again. I have to do that every now and then, otherwise I just drink immense amounts of coffee over time, and I was having way too much. Alright, so we want to really anything that's on here. So this little bit is going to be that. I'm just going to say anything that's on here. So we're going to grab I don't know if that's the right term for it, but whatever. A lot of this is going to be reflective. I don't want this. I want something that's a consistent look, or a consistent coloration. Like this could work, but it's too many scratches. Ooh. That actually could work. I'd have to invert it. How big is it? Oh, it's big too. Perfect. Alright, because of the detail that I want, I'm going to probably end up just mashing this all over the place. But I can't crisscross into other ones, which actually won't be that difficult to do. So we're going to put this here. Actually, I want to make this smaller. So we'll do this. Yes. How big is this? This picture's huge. This guy was pretty nice. He set this up to make it really flexible for people. I love it. Yeah, you get caffeine in powder and stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. Caffeine is something that you have in smaller-ish doses, and just snorting it, yeah, that's not going to go well for you at all. Okay. So, I'm going to I need to figure out where these somewhat end. So I need to take this. Where's my eraser tool? Erase, hardness, max, perfect. And I don't care about the in-betweens. I just care about these parts. Set this one back up to max. And so I need to take this one. Wait, this one missed. Yep, missed a few. Like that. And the reason I don't want these to cross over is because otherwise I have to, I'm going to have like a straight line where it's crossing over to another one. So I'm probably going to do a couple like this, and then I want to open it up in the actual software and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to put this, I'm going to stretch this one a little bit. Like that. Because if this works, then I can just finish it later. I just need to make sure that the concept works, so that whether or not this armor works. Because as it is, the bumpiness of it, to me, is weird. I don't want that. Okay, that one's fine. I'm not crossing into anything. Next one will not be the case. Get these ones up here, and then I should be good. This is going to be down here, actually. So make sure it's not crossing over. I'm not sure what's in there. So we'll just try this. So we're going to take these. We're going to... Can I just invert it like this? No, I can't. I don't care if I merge these. I need these inverted because I want the gouges to go in, not out. And I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Where's the contrast? We're going to increase the contrast. And the brightness. Something like that. That should work. Okay. The one problem I realized that these ones aren't. You know what? I don't even care because I'm whatever. It's gonna cause some weird because I'm gonna turn a bump map into a bump map. What? What did I do? Something crashed. Try closing you and reopening you then. If it doesn't work, it really doesn't matter. Okay. So what we'll do instead is, can we import it without making it a bump map? No. Well, that is weird. Is there something weird with this file? Actually, let me try one thing. So, this file is huge. I don't know if that's having a problem with that. It's not even white. It's like some off-white. I'm just gonna get rid of all these ones that are already here. Because just importing it like normal shouldn't be an issue. Unless there was something wrong with the file, which is what I was thinking. So that's why I'm going to try put map, but that doesn't work. But it's working right now. Because the bump map only looks for the differences between light and dark, so I should be able to just use this. I'm not going to do a bump map, or I'm not going to do an override on it. That breaks it. I don't want to break it. See, this is the cool thing about bump maps, the fact that this looks like a super detailed model, but it's not. It's just how the lighting's hitting it. I don't think I had that much memory that was going to take this long to reload. Okay. The main armor parts don't have that stuff on it yet, so that's why it's looking a little weird. Not very shiny. I think it needs more just rough textures over it. Like, the nicks work, but it needs something more than that. Let me see, fuck this. I'm going to just do... mesh over this. So I don't want that one to change. So I like this one for the large gashes, but I'm gonna see if I can grab these other ones with the minor ones. This might be a little excessive. Oh, it's tiny. It's not even finding scratches that's the problem. It's finding ones that have a balanced lighting from one side to the other. It's too much. A lot of these are like immense numbers of cracks. Hi, cat. Meow. My sister's not home, so he's kind of confused. Hi, kitty. I don't know if this is gonna be. I don't think there's any other term different than scratched to look up. Worn, maybe? Worn actually can kind of work. It has scratches and like dings and everything else. Kind of. Like that's just too unbalanced on color. But maps are weird because it's like the lighting's direction determines that. I need good detail on it too. It could kind of work, but it's this is what I don't think is gonna work. Oh, man. That one might work. That one looks like hair. This could work. It just creates a slightly rough look. And it's seamless, so you should be able to put them next to each other and you don't even know it. I still have this layer up there so I can bam and get rid of that other one. Alright, so that could work as a background. And now we need this layer. This is going to go contrast. I want to kind of match it with that. That work? We'll say yes. these top ones. Definitely want to make those stronger. These a bit weaker. Okay, let's try that. How big is this texture? Probably why it's not letting me in there. 20, 45, 20, 48. Because really at that point you're not going to notice much of a difference in the video. And this might make it actually work. I think it was just too big to load up before. Ain't no fuck Friday. I like that. We'll go with that. All right. Yeah. See, now the bump map actually worked right. Though, I might have it backwards, but we will see. So yeah, it was just too big for it to load it here. You can make bump maps in other programs, and that might have been how we did it. I don't think I can reload the bump map with just this, but we'll try. I'll hit it anyway. Because I don't think you can reload bump maps the same way. I can't remember though. Doesn't help that I've had my computer on for like 2.5 days and I've done like 25, 30 hours of renders. I guess not. Oof. I do like that more though. You can definitely notice the drop in the quality of it when it did that though. Permanently decrease the size? It's not letting me actually undo it to go back to the other one. I'm not really complaining because I think that was way too big. Whatever. I just think right now, I think I have this too strong. Well, let's try what it's going to do anyway. So we're going to grab this and... Is that what I want? There we go, blackjack text. Okay. This is the one that should be regarding blackjack looking metallic. So I want to see what it looks like if I turn these values to match that. So we got Fong exponent. We are going to make this 100. I should have that backwards. Fong boost is 1. This one's is a lot lower. Fong Fresnel ranges. Half Lambert. I don't think that's going to matter too much. That no. All right. Oh. I think it's shiny, but it's this I forgot this. That actually might not work. It's gonna make this part metallic looking too, or super shiny. I don't want that. Boo. I could make it slightly shinier, but I think that might be a little bit much. So that's 6. Let's put it up to 18. And instead of 1, we will go to 0.01. That's one thing I like about having textures separate. Okay, I need to export this. This is, I'm just going to call that. I don't care. Because I need to get this part into the other part. So, oops. It's not cool, but no. Reduce its intensity. Yes, that will be. I don't know if this is gonna work with this. Kinda. That's not gonna work like that. Alright, we'll do it this way. I think this realizes the bump map too. It does not. does. Okay. So now I got the bump maps back a little bit here, but I still think that that's overly shiny for those parts. I don't want that. It actually doesn't look too bad in terms of shiny otherwise. I think it looks like could probably tone down the roughness of it, but those parts actually don't look bad. It's just dealing with the other parts. This doesn't have an alpha on it, no, so I can't take advantage of that either. So I'm going to tone these back down. We'll do it to twice what its base value was. Let's see if that'll work. It's just those two, right? Oh, the Fresnel range is two. Whatever. I'll keep those. See, those are more manageable. With where she is right now, the coloration is matching with the yellow. It's giving it a tint that's slightly red. I'm actually going to give it a little bit more red. Okay, that should work. Still don't like how shiny these are, and there is a way around it, like with how this stuff is set up on her. If I were to take the parts for the arm, and I'm not sure how it works for the chest. That one would be a little harder. You can either alpha out the other part of it, which isn't the best solution. Usually it causes some other issues. Or I could just grab this. I don't know if the shoulder's counted on this. No, it's not. Oh, actually. That actually could work. Because this isn't tied to the armor at all, so that means I actually can completely get rid of that. Wow, that actually is not something I expected. Because I don't know if you guys are interested in bump maps, stuff like that. Because if you want, I can show you exactly what I mean, like how to adjust that so that it, I have two different, this is a learning thing, so I will show you what I mean. So I'm gonna take, this is gonna be, Ember armor. I'm gonna call this metal, and I'm gonna copy this. Let's continue. I'm gonna paste it, and we're gonna call this Ember armor fabric. And we will lock it to her just the same. For one, these should be zeroed. Let's see, 0. Oh, I don't have that leg locked now. That's why. Okay, there we go. So I want to make sure that everything is as it should be. Okay, now the metal one, metal armor, I do not want any of this other crap. I want only the metal portions. So I'm going to take And I'm going to unlock it from all the legs. And I'm going to add a scaler on every one of these. I'm going to 0 it. And essentially, at least on this one, and I got super lucky that that even works, gets rid of most of it. It's not going to get rid of all of it. So there's still going to be a little bit, it's like on our back here, but at least for what I need it for these shots, this is going to work. And that part doesn't matter either. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one, but I want to do the opposite. So from what I can tell, it's going to be these 3. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work with these, but we will try. Might have one problem with the backside on this. What I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to leave this metal part as it is for now, is I might have to scale that down to just fit within the other armor, but I'll deal with that when it comes around to it. So for now, I just need to make... go to Photoshop. And... Well, actually, I don't even need to go into Photoshop. What am I talking about? Yeah, so then... I can't actually have 2 separate textures, so I'm going to have to utilize overrides for the for this part. So the one's going to be using the normal stuff, and then I'm going to use the overrides to give it its normal values back. So what are its normal values? Okay, so I did the Fong exponent. That's a float. And that is 6. Okay. 6, that went up. I just want to make sure. All right, and the next one is Fong Boost 0.02. Okay. And the Fong Fresnel range is 0.5610. Nope. This ranges. There we go. I shaved like a week and a half ago. Okay. So now, this is what the texture was before. And even this doesn't look too bad. It just doesn't look metallic, and it kind of looks bland like that. So, alright, but this is with the shiny. Or like this is. So I'm going to take, because I want fabric, I'm going to take all the ones that I need to shrink. I'm going to keep them as they are, like in position. I'm going to add the scales. And I'm just going to go into these, and I'm going to drop them by like 2%, not even. This is supposed to be 0.1, right? Usually has problems if you let it 0. 0.1, so 0.98. Would that be enough? Actually, I'm doing this backwards. Those ones should be the same. fabric should be the shrunk one. I was like, this isn't working. Well, yeah. Being a dude. Okay. Success. Now we have 2 different butt maps. It worked. It just happened to be that it was pretty well made for how that is. Most people don't want to add bones to the weight maps to the actual metal because they don't want it to bend and move. And use it to my advantage. I haven't watched Mana before, so no. Okay. Is that brightness going to work still? I'm going to tone it down just a little bit more. Then I put all the time into a cutie mark and it's just not useless. The problem with doing it this method now too is I have to copy this armor to other bits. Yeah. It's how do I do that now? Because I have 2 locked ones here. I just have to be careful. So I'm gonna copy. Yes. Like, so you have to be careful with. Well, those are 0, so actually those don't matter. So I am gonna do unlock. Deselect. And 0. Okay. This one, I think I can. Oh, I can't 0 these. These gotta stay as they are. Okay. I think that worked. Just clipping a little bit. That's the metal portion. So we're just going to take this and scale it up by a teeny bit. And no more clipping. It's like overlapping within here, but it really doesn't matter for what I'm doing. It bugs me a little bit that the shininess of the armor on this bit, because if you see how shiny it is, okay, that is print process, is really shiny, but then here it isn't from that angle. Probably due to the angle of the light, because if I go from this angle, it's a lot stronger. Two ways to make up for that are to either shine another light at her or boost it more. I'm going to see if I can shine a light at her. I don't even really have to hit it either. That works a bit better. Wow. I realized how much clipping there was from back here. Problem with the model itself. It's just that there's so much distance and so much zoom. But normally I could just take this and like roll the model out more from her and it should fix it. I just want to make sure I got I'm getting the right lighting here. So is this bright enough? That makes more sense right there. Okay. How do the ponies put on clothing? That's easy. Magical ponies. I mean, it's when you try to look into the reasoning behind something, but you look over the glaring fact of how do they use a magical horn to make things float. I'm pretty sure that the how do they put on clothing is not the first question about going to mind. I thought about adding bump maps for hair, but normally that stuff turns out looking like shit. So I'm thinking I might just keep that cartoony. This is going to be armor rim. Maybe if they have the technology like they had in Back to the Future, they had the clothing that like it's loose when they go to put it on, but then it just like just sucks right to them. Well, the armor looks shiny like right here, but when you actually let it process, it dumbs it down a little bit. But I'm gonna probably what broke your leg there? Suddenly off. Plus, when it comes to like the show and stuff, if like the whole point, like when you see a lot of people with guns, like, they've complained like, well, ponies can't shoot guns. Why give them a gun when they have invented something different? Well, yes, they probably would have done a lot of things differently. They probably wouldn't have chairs like they do. They probably would have the concept of hands probably wouldn't even be something. They'd probably come up with something completely unique that would work better just over time. The fact is that if as people that find entertainment in the show, we have to find things that are relatable, and it doesn't, even if it doesn't make sense in the universe, it's relatable to our universe, and that's why it's there. So why do guns exist if they don't have hands in the manner that they do? I know they have like the mouth ones, but even then that seems like a very inefficient way to just take a normal gun and just turn the bottom bit. No, they would have probably, like the battle saddles or something like that would have been more something that they would do. But yeah, it's you have to have it relatable some way. Like here, with the angle that this is at, her armor is way too glowy. I don't want that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep this the same. Because I want that sharp edge of it. I'm going to take and do... fun tint. Actually, that didn't do as much as I thought it was going to do. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Ooh, actually, it's kind of cool. But I can't actually make... So can I make this like blown out in color? Oh, that's neat. She is the glowy mare. It's like kind of cool. Glow. And she will go purple. That's kind of neat. Oh, I do it. I want to see something. Let's do that, but we're also gonna make it glow red. Oh, dude, wait, hold on. The armor is as black as night, but it's still shiny. That's really cool. Where's the good lights? Still. And then we will give her that's actually pretty neat. He's got like glowy celestial armor. Better. Rose up. Oh, whoa. That's actually. He's using the power. That's actually kind of cool. Things to remember for the future. And that's only based on when light actually hits her, too. And if you go far away, she just kind of becomes like a glowing ball. So it actually only works when you're pretty up close or zoomed in. Okay, now back to like what I was doing. Alright, I wanted the sharpness in the edges, but I didn't want it as bright, but I don't think tint actually does much. No. So I have to rely on tint. No, I could just rename that one. Not tint. Blah. There we go. Boost. Curious about now is if I take that, put that up, is it like the same as offsetting this? Kind of. Yeah, that's a little less noticeable. I wanted her face to be the focus, and if the armor's big and shiny, it just kind of pulls you away. Then I feel like from this angle, the armor's not so shiny, so I'm going to have to play with it some more to make that work. But even this, like, the lighting in this right now feels too balanced, too evenly lit. I need to remove some light here. Not quite that. That's the background buildings. I probably won't need to play with that, though. Is that what all these did? Did any of those create... Nope, that's... None of those did. They created the stronger light. That actually would help. That's a front. Ambient prevents excessively shadowed areas. I think it's going to be to drop this one a bit and this one a bit. Unless this one go up more. No, because that's for shadow light. That's not really doing much for shadowing. Just want the shadows to cross a bit more. So I think what's probably going to work best is, I think the shadow of the one, nope. What's causing a lighter on here? Is it just her lights? Ooh, that's actually causing... Oh, nothing worry now. I think this is one of the sunlights. The last one. What I kind of want to do is I want to take this light, bring it down, take another one like it, and just aim it at sections. Doesn't even have to be shadowed. And just pump the intensity up. Preferably some kind of a more awkward angle. Oh, this is a... So it doesn't have... Oh, I remapped this, didn't I? Oh, wow, yes I did. Okay, yeah, that's gonna do it. Okay, and then I want to take this, I want to get one of those same ones here. gotta match this to a degree. That's what I'm trying to do. Kind of. So that's why I got these little dark areas, and we're trying to replicate that to some degree. Ambience needed. I don't know if the highlight's needed. I don't even know why there's even a highlight, really. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to drop it down a bit. It's just trying to keep things balanced. On that. Actually, why does my highlight have such freaking high radius? Oh, this, I don't know, you this, where you live, Lunar? Yeah, it's still like daytime, like completely, kind of. I mean, the sun's setting, but we're fine. Okay, I think I need to figure out the city's lighting in the background so that I can start balancing out everything else. The city gets hidden behind everything here. How does he look right now? He looks, actually he looks pretty good. The belt map, so. Then here, like, his face does get a little dark after the light goes away. It's like 8 something, not right now. But I mean, normally it's what, 9, like at the peak it's about 9 o'clock, just after 9 is the setting time. This is gonna be fun with all the lights I already have. That's fine. So for the city, I feel that the ambience of the city is pretty good right now. And the ambient lighting. The only thing I don't like about it is that I feel like these aren't drifting into the distance as well. That's probably going to need a volumetric layer. Which one is this? Is this the last one? Yes. As a job, I used to work in trucking until a couple months back. I worked doing damaged freight for a trucking company for a couple years, but I worked in trucking for over a decade. Not driving truck, doing office work stuff. I was very experienced in it. But as of now, I work at a medical company doing documentation, so paperwork stuff. Which sounds boring, but I actually do a lot of other stuff other than that for them. Like I get to work with SQL databases and building Excel sheets for higher ups, and it's actually stuff that I actually enjoy doing now instead of hating my job. Okay, well I work in medical. I don't exactly do the blueprints or anything. It's all for the company I work for. They do endoscopic products, so it's like the cleaning and reprocessing and building of the units for use of the tools to prevent infections and stuff. But I just do the documentation side, so we get all the blueprints and everything comes in, and we just have to take them from the engineer and put them in a system so that everybody can view it, but making sure that you fit within the FDA guidelines, and which they are immensely picky, so it's making sure that everything is absolutely pristine in how you do it. But it's not bad. Fire department's not hard to get. It's just getting a job at the fire department is the problem. I think it's easy to get a volunteer position, but that's usually unpaid. Though most states have some kind of system set up for when you retire. If you were there for like 20 years, you could get a full pension. They have found me. The sun's coming from this direction. I have to be careful because technically the sun would be coming from right behind the camera. So I could, for how I do the lighting, I should actually like have it aimed straight at these buildings and just bam, but so we'll do it in sections. It's actually neither in a way. The city's technically covered in a perpetual layer of or in perpetual clouds. There's actually a bit that they speak in there of they don't really know what the sun and moon are. But there's already inconsistencies. Like the fact that they're out in the open makes no sense. They should technically be fully undercover. The city itself is supposed to be so thick with rubble that they can basically travel underneath it, unseen. But for the shot that I needed to replicate, this ended up being a more viable thing to do. So I'm going to worry about what I see right now. But then I'm going to have to move the camera to where it moved to afterwards and make sure that I light everything based on how it should look from that angle. Yeah, there's another layer. I'm not worried about lights in terms of number. I had the Heroes Will Fall thing had like 180 lights, and well, it ran like crap. It ran. But if I had to choose between it being Dawn or Duck, I would say it's Donald Duck. Get it? Get it? So, cause Donald Duck. I'm tired. Shut up. I love having full control of the maps and stuff. So, but again, it's I've said it before. It's all preference. It's if you think if a pre-made map does what it or fits your need, perfect. And that's great. I just never have that luck. I'm too immensely picky. I would never be able to just find a map that's perfect unless I made the map myself. But even then, I'm not always happy with it. Remembrance map was... There's a lot of things I wish I could have done differently with it. But in the end, it wouldn't have mattered because it wouldn't have been anything you'd notice. Oh, if you in like here in your main window, right click, hit enable lighting. That will put everything to essentially a balanced amount of lighting, allowing you to wander and do whatever you need to do. And then when you start adding lights, you can start seeing them. It's actually recommended if you're working on animation portions or whatever. Not only does that turn off all light, but it makes everything run more efficiently because you are it's not processing any lights in the background, which is one of the biggest killers of your processing. So I actually recommend that if you're just working on stuff like here, you can see if I'm flying or like moving around my frame rate, what it is at right now. But if I turn out the lights, much better, more manageable, a lot easier to like say work on this model when I'm running at a frame rate like this than if I'm running at a frame rate like this. And that's why with the Heroes Rise, I kind of had to cut that short. Because this is a bright light. Because even with the lights off, it was running worse than this. So that's what, like, yeah, I can't do anymore. When actually pre-made maps are much more efficient than the way I'm doing things, because when I make everything, like if you're looking or what do they call them? In a map, they call them portals, I think it is. So when a map goes to render itself, it's one of the reasons that they say never add, or when making a map in a Hammer, you don't want to add pillars into the map as map objects, because what a portal means is that it creates like rooms or sections within the map that it tries to determine what you can see from that position. And so it says, if you were standing right here, what would you see, or what's important? Well, if there was like a second floor underneath you, there's no point in processing it. You can't see it, so it would actually like basically disable all the polygons, disable everything for it. Same, but it would also go with behind this pillar. It would say there's nothing you can see behind this pillar, so I'm not going to process anything. And then you go to step forward a couple feet, and it's going to say, okay, well now you're in a different area of this thing, so now it's going to look and process this differently. And so when it goes to make a map, it creates crap loads of these areas around everywhere, and tries to figure out where or what you should be able to see at that point. And so that's what they say, never add a column, because a column can be walked around at all angles, so it completely creates crap loads of portals for no reason. But that creates an efficiency increase, because right now, no matter where I look, for the most part, anything that's not on my screen is culled to a degree, so it'll turn off the texture, but it still has a lot of other stuff that's being processed because doesn't have that map stuff built in. So it's going to be processing a lot more information for stuff that you don't even need to process, but the map would clear that up. I wish there was the can I find it? I believe it was Crash. Had a little. Yeah, here it is. I think this is it. Yeah. So this is actually showing you how that culling thing works. So see this pillar? It's going to show you how it's processed. You can actually see it's disabling everything behind it when you're moving. So they did this originally because they had a very, very tight amount of polygons that they were allowing to run at once to keep performance higher. And so they had an algorithm set up that would just like disable the stuff as you were moving. And it's the same thing on here. So that's why the maps are built to do that. But this, when you're just running it in there, doesn't. Yeah, anytime I'm in game here, I always have my resolution set to 720, which is the default. If you don't have anything in there, it's at 720. I always have it in here because if I want to render at 1080 or 4K, I have to go in here and actually change this to 1080 or 2160. And then I also turn off Perforce, which is if you ever have it where you go to open the particle editor or save something and it takes forever because it has to run through a Perforce thing. If you do no P4 in your launch options, it disables that, and my particles run exactly the same without issue, but now the saving is like immensely quicker and going back and forth. So yeah, if you're working with particles and you find that error or that message that comes up super annoying, that's how you fix it. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is confusing, like resolutions and the Perforce thing and like how that culling thing works. I just learned that over time from playing in here. It's not something that like you need to know, or actually this is kind of a cool shot just like this. It's nothing you need to know. And so don't feel like because you don't know it that you're behind or you're lacking or you're not gonna it's something you need to know. No, don't worry about it. It's stuff that it's like you can just figure out with time and whatever. Oh, yeah, I can show you again. And you're always running in 720. 720 is the default, so if you haven't put anything in there, you are running at 720. The only reason I always have it there is because when I do want to change to like 1080 or 2160 for 4K, all I have to do is change the number. I don't have to go rewrite it all. So it's basically right now with 720 there is I'm just manually telling it to go to the default, but it makes it easier for when I want to change to a higher resolution. That's the main thing. And so what this is saying is, what is the preview resolution? You can't render at anything higher than your preview resolution. So, but preview means what this window is, what these ones are. So even though they're tiny, if I drag this out here, if I increase the size here, the max it's going to go to is 720, because that's what the resolution is. So this is the actual right now resolution of that all the windows are at. So even if I have it set to like this big, it's still 720. So it's just scaled down. There are other launch options for SFM, but I haven't really found a use in any of them. Yeah, you can tell it to specifically load a session. You can have a preset movie settings, but whatever. Render settings, but oh well, that's per thing. I don't want to have that overridden. The nice thing is if something does break with regarding some of those, you might be able to get around it. This one actually makes a difference. You can increase the resolution of your shadows, which does make a really cool difference. You can have really, really sharp, detailed shadows, but it eats up resources immensely fast. Just increasing it from 2048 to 4096, you're going to notice a huge kick in performance, and I just never found it to be worth it. I mean, if you go to render, maybe, but I already don't like super long render times. So, I mean, they have a crap load of stuff here, but the main one I use is the no perforce, disables perforce in SFM. The no start wizard might be nice, shuts off that new session, open recent session window, but I kind of like that. So, no Steam I've used before, though it will disable your workshop. But I one time had it at a convention. I couldn't connect to Steam. No, I couldn't get into Steam because it started an update, but my internet was running so slow there that I couldn't finish, so I couldn't open SFM because I couldn't update it. So I had to create a shortcut to add no Steam to the end of a shortcut on my desktop. That was stupid. What was the other ones here? Solid water reflection textures. Never really played with that, but again, I think that's a very specific situation. Disables autosaving. Why the fuck would you do that? I can maybe if you have an absolutely huge file, but I'd be too afraid to lose something. This is the SFM resolution. So this is just telling you can do 1080, 720. You can also tell it, I think, yeah, specific renders or options if you want to do something opposite of the normals. But again, why would you probably do that? Actually, if you were rendering a video with black bars in it, that could actually come in handy. So you could actually build it into the resolution. I've never tried it. That'd be interesting to try for like remembrance. That it actually came in handy. Didn't really think about that. Classic engine UI. I don't know why you want to do that either. Oh, there was a comic maker that's on SFM that you can enable. Though it works, but I'd heard it was not really worth it. So anyways, yeah, you can just go play around with that. So you just look up command lines, or not command line, just startup options or launch options, whatever, for SFM. Here's some neat ones. But yeah, the main ones I'd recommend is put in the resolution one so you can easily change it and turn off perforce. Okay. Most of the buildings are in the background. I need some lights coming down from the sky, which is going to be this one. Actually, I will need light rays. we're supposed to. Yeah, it's the same one. That's what I want to do. Oh, that's a useful key too if you've ever had it. Well, for one, there's actually a couple of keys. There's one of them for those that were here a long time ago when I just did this. There is a button to create camera with a single button, but it doesn't tell you that it made it. Yeah, so like here, actually this. Yay, okay. Create camera at head. Stupid button. I don't understand. It's if you want to create a button at the head, I don't see why they put it to a key that's so close to your normal keys. Meaning that, say I kept this on at C. What this means is, whatever. So if I'm just doing this and I hit C, and then I hit C, and then I hit C again, like I've created. Well, here's just the one. I guess it only saved the one because I haven't moved. But I think if I move, yeah, it creates cameras in the background here. So you're creating a bunch of cameras, and only way to get rid of them is to go in here and delete, show, okay, delete. I don't know why they have that set to C. So I'd actually recommend you go to your shortcuts and turn that off because you don't even know how many you've actually created. The other key that's actually useful, and I'm not going to show it on there. If you are wandering around, like, and say you can't find this model that you just spawned in, if you hit V, so V is in Victor, if you're in the viewer and you have the model selected, so it's right there, it will automatically jump your camera to center it on the model that you're looking at, which comes in handy. So if you're looking around, you can't figure out where the model is, you can just hit V and it will throw you to that angle. I'm trying to think of some of the other useful keys. You can set up a shortcut key for the. I have to set it up again for my one bound key, but for like secondary viewport. So you can just hit. For me, I think I had it set for like Alt F8 or something weird like that, or I think it's Control Alt 9, something that was like not used by anything, and I had it set to it. That as command is set to like one of my other keys in my hotbar, or the extra keys, so that I could just open it up a second viewport with a button push. So, I'm just saying in your keyboard shortcuts under global to go to create camera at head and just remove that current key binding. Creating it at that is stupid. I do recommend you kind of play around through this though, because you'd be surprised how many things have shortcut keys to them, and it takes a little time to get used to a shortcut key. Like Control Alt M to toggle mute, or not mute. I think there's got to be a toggle sound too. But it's nice to have all these shortcut keys for stuff. That's actually where I learned about the play slower is period and play faster is, or slower is control period and faster is just regular period. Those are useful keys. Center, pivot, and view. Oh, pivot, but that's but this is aim, work, camera, and manipulator, so that's what the V key is. You can even do it for turning off progressive refinement, opening your render settings. You can set up shortcut keys for all of this. Toggle visibility. Oh, that's when I'm in the element viewer. Okay. What does that do? I don't know. Because some of these are different depending on the environment you're in. So. Yeah, you can even do show hidden controls. This one has, I think, some of the more useful ones too. So, I would recommend playing around with those, figure those out. Okay, so I need, or these light rays are right now hovering over here. So we're just going to pick some random spots to throw those into the sky. I have to be a little more careful with this because I'm not moving sideways. I'm actually moving in all directions now. So I can have these go onto camera, but I have to make sure that they don't go off camera. What I mean by that is I can have this light ray coming down here. Actually, I feel like this should be coming down kind of like this. But when the camera goes to zoom in, I have to make sure that it doesn't like look weird at that angle. This is 777. So we'll do 1, 4. Actually, that doesn't even really matter because it's all the same. Too bright. 1. Still too bright. 2.85. That'll work. I'm just going to copy them all from this one. It's got the angle and everything set. Main thing is just turning it a little bit so it doesn't look the same. Watch your profanity. Okay. Those two work, but I need some in the background there. This is supposed to be a 3D thing. Sunbeam over here, so I need to make it look like it's coming from somewhere. way too bright. So this beam will have a home right. Actually, that would come from this side. Actually, there's a break in the clouds right here. If I hit the edge of this, I can kind of make it look like a long piece of cloud that's getting hit in a little differently than the other ones around it. Yeah, that looks cool. I think the clouds are going to be the most important part right now. If they don't work, nothing works. I think a good spot would be right over here. So I'm going to give it kind of an overall glowy. Like this. Just a little bit of a brighter spot. And then within that bright spot, I can create some other brighter bits. There's no actual definition to these clouds, so I'm relying on me molding definition out of them. And actually, this this Saturday. Yeah, that is the 5-year anniversary for this book being released, which is pretty cool. I do have a gift, actually. I'm not lying. I've had a lot of people actually watching the streams on the PS4s, and they're working pretty good. This is actually an image. I'm just pointing lights at it to create definition in it. Problem is like the clouds this direction don't really have as much definition, so I'm kind of stuck. Though the camera does spin to here, so that's why I need to figure this area out too. Actually, I'm gonna just figure it out based on how the camera looks. That's a helmet. Why is the helmet not in with him? There we go. Now it is. I'm curious about something. It's probably gonna crash me, so that's why I'm gonna save it first. Look at that cloud decal. Woo! I'm looking for some kind of a cloud-looking thing that's black and white. I come back to that one. Look, I'll fit that in the sky. It's clouds. They go forever. To infinity. That might work. Looking for something a little more defined. Sure, all going to be other things. Alright, I think it's going to be the best choice. Still loading ones, but it's for a video? I'm making a trailer for a fic. Yeah, this actually could come in handy. This is one thing I'm curious about now too.
What's up?
Hi. Oops, too much.
You might drop and go get tacos.
Mighty tempted.
It is the mighty
Alright, so I
taco.
have to invert these. This is going to be there, there, there.
Where are you going? I suppose. I literally just got home.
I have not. Oh, I didn't know he had a new video. Love horse stuff. This might not work. Negative lights almost never work. I think I just have to remove a lot of the color. It should actually be fine.
Sure, Sonderby, sure.
Too much yellow still. Trying to get a negative light to work. This is fucking
I
pain.
really don't for a moment.
But all I wanted to use it for was to add a little bit of extra something here. It's just that it's almost impossible to get a black light. Even if I go to white here, like, see, it shows red, which means I have to increase the red to get rid of it. That's actually not too bad.
I actually haven't tried too much of Taco Bell yet. I think the only thing I've eaten there is a quesadilla.
Taco Bell's Jesus in earthly form. We had a conversation about that, didn't we?
In the car?
Yeah, last time we talked something about Jesus with Taco Bell. Didn't we?
Something like that. Maybe. Come over here, Kyle. Or as I like to call you, muscle. Or workout man or something.
So I'm gonna have to keep this really subtle.
Jesus tacos sound delicious, but they're not Taco Bell. This is real. Kyle, now you're making me want to get Taco Bell. You're a jerk.
His mission has succeeded.
I suppose.
He can now go back to his planet safely.
This planet of up north.
Let's go. His planet needs him.
So what are you doing a picture of?
I'm still working on the video.
Ah.
I'm just working on the sky because the sky looks great at certain angles, but it doesn't have any build-up. So like from this angle looks pretty good.
I'd say.
But then when you turn here, the clouds don't really, like, for one, there's a big break in the clouds there for when I had to jump skybox or sky domes, but it doesn't matter because when you add in this motion blur, who cares? So but yeah, this shot had way better clouds, but this one didn't, so I'm trying to artificially create some. But again, motion blur, so I'm not worried about the detail of it.
Just enough detail to be dangerous, but not...
Enough detail to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Because I did this one, we got an armor now too. But the skybox is different on this one. Because in this one, the camera just looks forward, so I just locked it into a box. But in this one, the camera spins, so I couldn't do that. I had to have something that allowed me to have the rotation. So I had a different skybox. But that's what this is. This transition is supposed to break that and look different. But
Kyle says he's already toshed.
I'm not surprised. And isn't he toshed?
Somebody asked how long it takes you to make a 3-minute video. Isn't that like way up in the air?
That's a question we actually make fun of.
Why?
Because it's too hard to say. Like, say you had a 3-minute video that had 100 ponies in it, or one that had 1 pony in it. Could you say that you could animate it the same amount of time? No. It comes down to complexity. It's a question that's asked because it's so simple and it's asking, but there's so much to it. It's so hard to say. I think it should actually be the other way around. It shouldn't be like, how long would it take to make this much animation? It should be, if for this much time animating, how much could you do? I think is almost a better question.
Well, like, how long did it take you to make Remembrance?
That's even hard to say because I started 2 years before I finished. But there was like 9 months in there that I didn't really work on anything. So I don't even know. There's no way I get that number. If I say 9 months, it's like, okay, did I work on it 5 hours a day, or did I work on it 20 hours a day? So.
What about Derpy Princess?
A month and a half. From start to finish, that was a month and a half. A month and a half to 2 months, maybe. But then, like, for instance, like this video is what? Gonna be in the end with all the ending stuff, probably over 100 seconds, so a minute and a half, a little over a minute and a half, and I've been spending months on it, but then like this thing took me like 7 hours, so it's like.
But that was also not extremely
No, but that's just saying that's why it's so hard to determine times.
This has more backgrounds.
So yeah, when it comes down to it, it's the complexity of the video that determines how long something's going to take to make, and the amount of detail you want to put into it. I mean, like this is more detail than I would ever have to put in. I mean, I shouldn't need to put this much in. I just want to, because I want to go all out with it. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't have done this way quicker. A lot of the time comes down to, you can get the majority of something done in a short period of time, but those little things that you can do to make it go from either decent or good to great, that takes almost more time than getting it up to that point. So I mean, I could have like just skipped on the background or used pre-made maps or whatever, but it's one of the reasons like some people have said that there's this one guy that has these new 3D models out, and they're like, oh, those look really good and whatever. But if you notice that everything that's done with them has been with a white background, it's because if you want to make anything detailed, you have to build it all yourself, and there's no library that's available in those softwares. So, but yeah, you can have some really pretty pony models. Where are you going to put them? And that's what I like about here is I have this huge library. That's why I don't really want to leave SFM, not for the quality of the animation, but because the amount of resources that are available to me.
Which is really nice.
Yes.
Like, I mean, look what you've created there.
Yeah, but and I'm still, this is taking me time to do, but I'm not a modeler. I don't really know how to build all that.
Yeah.
And that would frustrate the crap out of me if I needed a pillar that I had to go build a pillar. I like being able to just put the environment together based on the resources that are available to me. I think that's more fun for me.
Especially when sometimes you're looking for something and then you can't find it, but you find something similar, and it's like, ooh, maybe this will work.
Yeah. There was the old food challenge. I forgot what it's called. That somebody did on I don't remember where they did it actually. But they threw out a challenge that said, here is a fancy Japanese dish. Make it any way you can using models that you already have. using texture overrides and replacing textures and everything. And he had made this beautiful food dish. And he was like, this syrup that's going off of this cake is a dinosaur. And they just used the long neck of the dinosaur and manipulated it to fall to the side and then give it a reflection and transparency and everything to make it look like syrup. So if you're resourceful, you can make do with a lot. And pretty easily, too. And I like to say that I am resourceful. So I like to, or keep an open mind in figuring out ways to use things that you normally wouldn't be able to use them for.
And he likes big butts and he cannot run. Or at least Dolphin does.
The problem with this this area down here is that this starts getting at a distance. I don't know how to portray that with these clouds. Where's my negative one? Argo moment? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
He's so cute though.
I know.
Wait, how come it's just Dolphin here? What about Nuzzles?
Because I normally just go over there, grab one, throw him on the head, and call it good.
It's Micho Senor Nuzzles. Ho ho ho. And wow, the Derpinator. Yeah. That I do. Okay.
You have to load a map. Most of the, I have a map loaded. It's just not a I see one problem with this method of doing things. I have a map loaded. It's just called a void. So it's when I say to build it from scratch, you still have to have something loaded. There is on the workshop, there's one called Scene Build Huge Void, I think. Or if you just search Void, Scene Build Void, it is a void map that is much, much larger than the default void map. And it is, because there is one that SFM does come with, but it's got a light in the corner and it's kind of The Scene Build Huge Void has no lights, hits the max Z limit, and if this work, I'm trying to think on this at the same time. So I don't like how this little trail down here works, but it's got to have some kind of a glow with it. That works better. What I mean by Z limit is the engine has a max distance that things can hit. So like when you have a come on, there we go. when you look at a light, it has the far Z attenuation. So that's saying, and by doing that, you can shift how far the distance is that it goes. That's kind of using a Z2, but let me hide the models here. So in here, everything looks fine with where I am because I'm not at the edge. But there is a max distance that the engine will do anything, render anything. And so if I start going towards the corner, you're going to start seeing that pop up. You essentially have hit the edge of what the Z distance is, which I think is 30,000 units. If I go straight here, it's fine, but when I look up, that's more than 30,000 away. So if you're right in the corner of this map, you will just barely get it at when looking straight, but you will get a little bit in the corner. So it's just saying there's nothing, literally nothing, that goes past that point. You could not see anything different. I don't know if you can override the engine to see further. If you could, that'd be great. I just have never looked into how. For anywhere within this, you should be fine. But that's your Z limit. So.
Huh? You want the taco?
Yeah.
Taco? What taco?
Oh, you guys gonna go over now?
Yeah, what taco? What do you want? Do you have the green burrito, of course? We have the...
I don't want the burrito, baby.
You want the burrito? You want the burrito, baby? Okay, well, then we always have the...
I like the Taco Bravos.
The Bravos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might get a Bravo.
Wait, are we going to Taco Bell?
No, they have Bravos there, too. They're not Bravos at Taco Bell. That's Taco John's.
No,
Whatever!
It's Taco John's, and they have Bravos over at Pineda's, so... You want... Bravo?
Green chicken Bravo.
Wait, what?
Green chicken Bravo.
Green chicken?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Korean chicken?
No, not Korean. Green. You'll know when you get there.
Are you sure?
It's green chicken. It's a chicken. It's like cooked in a jalapeno sauce or something. So it's a spicy chicken.
Green chicken, all three?
Yes.
Okay.
I used to get them all different. Now it's the only one I like, or the one I really like.
Okay.
Cinco de Drinko. Kyle's wearing glasses, trying to be book horse.
Excuse yourself. I have worn glasses since I was 10 years old.
Except for when you take them off.
Except for when I wear contacts. If I take them off, I'm blind.
Because he's channeling his inner book horse.
Take off my...
So that's on here. Okay. Back to this. This section really empty. Actually, I wonder if I can just use a light ray to hide that one though. No, they're going to Pineda, which is there's this little strip mall right across the street from us that has a movie theater that now serves alcohol and has lazy boys, which is awesome. It has a Chinese food restaurant called Tea House that has the best Chinese food. It has Pineda, which has like tacos and burritos and everything that's really, really good. There's even a Russian restaurant in the same mall. So literally across the street from us, we have all the best food and a great theater. So it's like kind of convenient. Okay, can I see those lines from this when it blurs? No. But it feels so much like that other one right here. So we're going to take that, we're going to shrink it. Okay. That works, but then it does prevent the issue of it doesn't hide what I wanted it to hide. Let's see if I can do it a different way. Actually, creating a three-dimensional effect through the rotating camera with this could actually be neat. There you go. Way too high. And what I mean by the rotation is I want to place it in the middle of the viewing area and have it be at such a distance and that it shifts and moves. Because it's not that far from the camera. Okay. Actually, no, it didn't. I thought I was going to. Oh yeah, I forgot I was saving on render time. I was disabling the city as it turned. Oh wait, no. I wasn't disabling the city. I was saving saving it by as the camera turned, I took a section of the city. Actually, I have to watch it because this actually has no city here. And to save on it, I have the part of the city actually copy and paste, or the whole, or not even copy and paste, the whole city section of it moves to the other side. So I technically only have this much city, but it's just moving with the camera. It's not expanding. It's actually, it's readjusting its own position. Because if I were to load that many more models, it would drag my computer way down more. But I only care about what's in the viewable area. So basically I'm doing like my own culling. I didn't really worry about these because it wasn't low enough, but because these were in the distance, I could do that. These ones actually would be useful. It would take time, but I could even have them go in there and move out and create more buildings too. So I'm just saving, every time you load a model, even if it's not visible, it's taking up memory and it's taking up space. It's going to create render time increases. That's why I mean, like even here, if I disable like everything and I hide everything, even with everything turned off, I'm still running at 15 frames a second. Just because it's hidden and you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not still eating up your processing. So if it's off camera, it's still gonna decrease your render times. So by doing by having the buildings pop up like they do, I'm able to reduce how many models I have loaded. It's the same. It's a similar concept for This one? Loud. Alright. And this video at this part. When I went to originally start loading ponies to put in this shot, it was crashing. There was too many, way too many. And so I redid the shot, and it has the same amount, if not more, than when I was trying it. Because we did a test before and found that I could only load like 35 or 40 different ponies, but I could load like 900 of one. Because your memory, if you copy and paste the model, it's still referencing everything that's the same, so it's not loading up another one into memory and another one into memory. So how I did a lot of these background ponies is like, this one's the same, this one's the same, that's the same as this one. I did a lot of copy paste all the way back, but the main thing I did too was from this one to this one to this one, these three, they all are the same pony. All I did was I went into the textures and either overrode their textures or something else, or just grab the color and grab the hues and change the hues. So it's the exact same model. There's only 6 pony models that I loaded for this entire background. All the ones up here are unique. They're set to either certain people within the show, or like I threw, I think this is Pip, this is me, Blackjack's over here, this is Dr. Who's here. So some of them I put in there for the joke of it, but otherwise everything back here is just 6 ponies copy pasted with color hues shifted, because then I only had to worry about 6 in memory with all these other ones. Otherwise this shot was not going to render at all, because this goes all the way back up to this point. So yeah. So like, if you want to make a giant city, like the reason that this shot isn't killing my memory having this many models is because this is only like 4 models, just copy pasted. I was just saving even more memory by also then reusing those individual models. I was removing and changing people's horns. Like, I think I originally used a Pegasus for the basis, and then I just like would randomly alpha out the wings on some of them. Kind of how they did theirs, but it's, I don't know, I don't think they save resources like SFM would in that regard. But it's also the reason in Leaving the Stable, if you actually go back and watch that, like, or within the software, every shot, I mean, I built the entire scene build. I have this entire thing. The entire map that I use is actually physically connected. I'd say within 2 different maps, but they are actually physically connected. But whenever in every shot before I went to render, when I was considered completely done, I deleted everything that was not visible. And in doing so, that is actually one of the most efficient renders I've ever done. Because some of the scenes, it looks like this big elaborate building that they're in, but some of them only have 3 models for the entire scene build. So it's because it was just at that angle, that's all you could see, so who cared? So yeah, it was when you're actually done, if you have a really, really complicated scene build, if it's not, don't worry about it. But like for this, I'm kind of doing it as I go, but I could delete some of these models afterwards if I wanted. But normally the main time you're going to be using that is if you make a giant scene build and then you start videotaping close up within it. Then you can get rid of some of the stuff outside of it, but you've already built the scene build. So at that point it's you're just, I would have, like, I used to use purple as my base, so I'd have this little piece off to the end, like I kind of have some right here, that were, if I did an oops and I had nothing left of that part of the scene build, but I had a shot that needed it from all the others that deleted, I could go copy paste from that. So that's the point of it. Yeah, I can show you the scene build. I'm actually going to quit off SFM. It's going to crash if I go to load anything. It's the RAM's at beyond max right now. Yeah, actually, there is. I had started streaming around the time I was working on leaving the stable. So if you actually go back on my second YouTube channel and go way, way, way back, you can actually. There's a lot of the streams on there are leaving the stable when I was working on that. Remembrance was almost worked on completely on stream. Luna's Banishment was. The entire video for the Making My Way Down the Milky Way was on stream because it was only on 2 streams. I'm still working on the time lapse for that, but that thing's huge. Whenever I want something mind-numbing to do, I work on that. You think it'd be easy to make a time lapse, just grab video, shrink it, but anytime there's an error that blinks up, I don't want that blink a bunch of flashing menus or alt tabs for references that only happen within 1/60th of 1 second. So I go and actually edit out everything like that and to clean it up. If there's a long pause because I was like sitting here talking without anything moving, I would actually edit that out too to keep it consistent. So, alright, because this is 2 separate files, inside and outside, because the outside one I actually did use a separate map, and so I had to actually take the animation from the shot of her throwing up the stairs and copy paste it all to this other file and render it twice and then fade them together to make it look like she's walking into another map. It was really neat. But I can show you how I did that afterwards if you want to. I know you go look at the streams on YouTube, but sometimes it's more fun to see it in person. And like I say, if anybody wants to see anything like that, I have no problem showing it. Strike team missions done. I renamed all my strike teams in Mass Effect Andromeda to ponies. So like randomly it'll come up on my thing. It says Rainbow Dash is in need of debriefing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because you know, ponies. There we go. Hold on, I have to get them set here. Okay. So this is the actual scene build. It should be at the end here. Oh wait, maybe not. Oh wait, it is not. Did I not have the full scene build anymore? I might not have the file for the full one. Oh wait, no, it is. I just had it turned off. Alright. So, this Pip's room. And there was originally going to be, or I used this hallway for the trailer. Ignore the broken door. And this had to work through the book or thing. That's what that going through the wall is. But this was for the trailer. I needed a hallway, so I just built this hallway that goes up to like nothing. It just goes up to like a, I don't know, bathroom. I don't know. But yeah, these are all connected. So I can't turn on the lights for everything, but I can turn it on one at a time. So so this is Pip's room, and I actually fully lit everything. And then as I went through, I went and modified the lighting when I needed based on the situation. So I got Pip's room. Overmare's office is the only thing not connected because it wasn't really done like that. So this is the Overmare's office. How that's lit. So back to Pips. Alright, so there's Pips. Then there is the main hall lights, which is what these would make these halls look like. Though I went and modified these pretty heavily. This is I think what it was technically for was this shot. And she's coming around the corner or something. But then this actually does connect to these. These are in a separate sections for lights because of how the shadows work. I can't have more than 8 shadowed lights. So if I turn on all these, it's going to start complaining to me about having too many shadowed lights and the lights won't work. So I put them into groups, so I was able to go, now I'm in this area, lights on. So this is these models are kind of broken because of changes, so whatever, I'm just not going to fix it. This has the emergency lights that are on, I think. Turn this off. Okay, now it actually looks like it should. The actual scene, when I had it originally, goes in transitions from this goes across to here, and then technically shows this. It's 2 separate renders, and I just had it masked through this wall here to transfer it to this. So, and then through here. Oh, and this is actually, if you actually go look up what this room looks like, those boxes are actually in the exact same positions as in the actual game. And I tried to make them lighting match as much as possible. So I had one person comment, they're like, holy shit, that looks just like it did from the game, because it actually is exactly the same positioning. Alright, then we have the cave lights. So this is right outside the door. Here. This is just a bunch of rock models put around there. And then into the cellar. The cellar had a lot more detail put into it, but a lot of it was never used because I just never looked those directions. So, I mean, like this and stuff. So yes, and then cellar door. So, but if you go back and look at how this is actually put together, when you're not from the beginning. So from this shot, you can actually see I'm running way better now without. So this is like with the full scene build. This is what I'm running at. I'm running at like 10 to 15 frames per second. But if I go to this shot, I'm running at 60. So these shots are just, I took that scene build and then just modified the lights to fit every shot. So you can actually see how the map actually like molds and twists into whatever I need it to be.
Why did you go?
On the Pip-Buck radio, the Overmare's reassuring voice is heard.
We are all feeling this loss. But I want to remind every pony that Velvet Remedy chose to do this. She chose.
Yeah. These are special little scenes I built for that are not in the normal scene build. I just threw these together to make it
to
work.
abandon us, her family. She betrayed my trust and she betrayed your.
This pole that it goes over was actually, because there's like a pole that it goes through. It's not actually a pole. It's like some weird clipping through the wall that happened as an error, and I left it because it actually looked really good. So here.
She betrayed my trust and she betrayed yours. Just as she betrayed the
She's a rapper.
trust of the pony who she tricked into removing
So, yeah.
her Pip-Buck, ensuring.
But then I was telling people earlier about the and then this part, the lighting. I think kind of proud of how that turned out.
It's time.
You don't have to do this, little bit. Isn't it?
Overmare.
The jump through the door here.
Now we're
I was saying how crappy it is, and if you actually like, if you actually watch how she's moving, I just didn't care. I got sodas too. Oh yeah, that comes with it. She's just like sliding and like going clipping, and she just lands and like goes through the floor. And I'm like, I didn't care. It looked good. Plus, I never understood like she keeps running, right after leaving this point right here. And actually, I have a negative light here to try to make it darker. But she runs away there, but then, like, she's standing right in front of the door here. Like, she ran away, but then just, like, popped right back. So, they were just, the couches, I think, were, they were ponies picked by, Nutrifin had made a bunch of ponies.
Eso taco, 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 taco. Dice taco, taco, taco de.
You should do that every time you get tacos. There's tacos. Thank you. Tacos. I finished this here. Background ponies are here. Like this one, I think is just a recolor I did. I'm like, I didn't care. But like, I did try to pay attention to like she's eating an apple because that's all they have in there. These I think are just some of the like that's Lucky, I think Clover. I think I forgot what that one was. She's originally a Pegasus, and I just whatever. These are actually this is the conversations from my the when I did my lip sync for the 10,000K blooper. I just took the actual motions from me talking there and just melded it into their heads. That's it. And then slowed it down. This is
she's so sad.
made from the Destiny video. She's really
so sad.
She's so sad.
Wait, isn't that the waiter in the derpy one?
Yeah, I just put her in the. She's in leaving the stable. She's this one back here.
Yeah. She's so sad.
She's sad.
She read the Daring Do book for the 50th
She's
time.
daring do and also duck and cover. While drinking.
Duck and cover. If you haven't actually seen that, you should really see that little short from the 1950s. It's absolutely brilliant.
But no, I want to show you here. So in this scene, and actually this one too, I needed her to get to the stairs quicker. So she's actually like going freaking mock across these things. Like,
oh, well, doesn't her like butt drag across it?
no, she's just sliding.
Oh wait, no, it was only her front. It was her barding that was the only thing that went up the stairs.
But because
the
the map doesn't work in like it is, I couldn't build an entire outside. So I tested this and it did work beforehand. So I rendered this so that it has her going up the stairs. And I went back and forth between these two. So this is what the render looked like for this the first time. Going up the stairs. And then I did this one. No, I don't want to see them.
Pizzeria. That's what I know.
Stop that, Billy. Stop that, Billy. No, salt that, Billy.
Stop that Philly.
Salt that, Billy is how that
Salt
goes.
that Philly.
Stop that Philly. Stop that Philly.
No, salt.
Stop that Philly.
Salt the Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Salt the Philly.
Let
Salt the
me
Philly.
do the override in here quick too.
Oh, we got everybody tonight, don't we?
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we have Levi in here too?
That I don't
I
know.
don't think I can do that.
Okay, we have almost everybody.
Was it really that sad? Yes, it's always sad.
You're sad.
Everyone's always sad.
Pizzeria.
Wait, are we adding a moderator now?
46. No, I was.
Only Warhorse is the moderator?
Maybe
No,
fair
it was just taking forever to load.
Michael
This
is.
is, what was that again? 24 146.
Saria is.
30,000.
He's got 4 tonight, I think.
He is fortified with the moderation.
And then this is 7710.
I don't need moderator powers. I can literally come over here.
You can't poop.
I had this. I made this before. They had that edit
It
thing
doesn't
for
work.
making things easier
We
for
need
them.
to transfer this to an actual
All right.
plate.
Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna need to do that. The burrito doesn't work this way.
So I
Not
copy
the
pasted their
flavor.
model, everything, so that it was exactly the same, and then I rendered it twice. And so this is the same thing, but now in this map. And Candralot's broken right now.
Candralot's broken.
This scene build, I still modified it to kind of delete what's not in the shot. But this one should have the majority. So this is what this looks like. It's just models spammed everywhere. It's rocks up in the out in the distance that just had a nice silhouette. Canderlot was actually a outline of just a 2D texture. And then just random crap thrown everywhere. Just to make it look scary, I guess. So it looked like this. And then I put in power lines, though nobody actually questioned why there was power lines. But there was, and then just so that I had something that could blow in the breeze, because I thought that actually looked good. And that's all pre-made animation on something. I think I just enhanced the amount on it. Yeah, I don't know if I still
Alicorn
have.
Pip? I remember that.
Lately, I kept modifying this scene that I kept because once everything was saved back and forth, I was kind of unable to change some things. So I have new stuff 2, new stuff 3. I didn't have as good of organization then.
Stop.
But yeah, I don't think I have any.
I'm sorry, Michael. I can't send you tacos to the internet.
The goofy
It doesn't
stuff.
work that way.
Why not?
It's good. It doesn't work that way.
But
Just can't.
but no, and then I took those 2 renders. Let's see if I can actually
You just have to come up, Michael, and talk about
find it.
I'm not going all the way down to Mississippi to give them tacos.
You
He's
should.
in Kentucky.
Wait, is it Soros in Mississippi then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe I'm mixed around. Man, I wish I was magic.
Jeez, Kyle.
Salt the Kyle. Salt that Philly. Salt the Kyle. Salt the Kyle. Salt the Philly.
So many save files for that damn Fallout video. But it was just called Crash at the end because it crashed. It's like, do you want to save him? Like, yes. Figuring this out, it's gonna suck.
What are you doing? What are you messing with?
He's visiting old files or something.
Eating tacos and fucking.
But if I replace one of them, it fixes all of them. I just have to fix the right one. No, not that. Storage. I don't keep all my my renders on my main hard drive because it would take up so much damn space. So I have a backup drive.
Well, you can thank me because you're hungry, because I literally asked if we wanted tacos, and then everyone was like, yes. So, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
You're such a jerk.
I know, right? Deliciousness costs.
Okay, so that's shot
Process.
1. Final one. I'm guessing it's gonna be this one.
That was one monster burrito.
It's a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Like, this is
It's a
This is
time
like-
your head.
This is 3 times as large as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, I want the green burrito.
Yeah, well, I told you it's a burrito, baby. Here.
I didn't
Everybody
fully
see the
realize
burrito. That's the burrito.
this is the size of my hand, and that is the burrito. And I don't have small
And
And
hands.
already
this is why I
started
get the
eating it, haven't you?
quesadilla.
And I don't have small hands.
That's why I get the Bravos.
It's so big.
All right, where is this? Is
I got a quesadilla.
And all... Oh no, you
This
had...
is like the only place that I've had Spanish rice that I've actually liked.
Okay, so that was just me putting those together. YouTube
What?
comp.
What do
Is
you
it
think?
this one?
Rice?
I don't usually like Spanish rice, but there's good.
It's rice.
Video main. That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
It usually has
Right here.
way too much butter.
So I overlaid these 2 renders. So this is actually 2 renders that are going back and forth. So this is, if I hide this one,
God.
you'll see that
Fucking burrito.
I have this masked on. here. So you can actually see this mask. So it's actually a feathered mask that goes and hides this part of the render. So she walks out no blackness. And then behind that is this render. So you can see here. There it is. Wait, no, that's not it. I lost it. Here. You can see where that other render is. So this is all that the one video file is giving. This is the rest of it. So you can see what it looks like without.
Stop talking and start eating your tacos. They're getting cold.
I know, but they got to do the thing.
The tacos.
So yeah, so for doing this, it was complicated and annoying. But I just had the mask follow this line for the most part.
Huh? No, I'm.
You can see I put it across here to maintain as consistent as possible. And I did it by hand. So, and then it looks like she walks into another map. So, and then I did a similar thing. I think I just did that. That's shot 3. Okay, so you want to talk about freaking annoying. Okay, we're gonna show you. If you can't animate a texture, you just say fuck it. So, for this part,
That's a lot of gobbledygook.
I actually went through and I keyframed based on the. Let's play it through so that it shows. I looked at the waveform and I rendered this out 9 times with different levels of the texture at different levels for the audio. And I went into After Effects and I went frame by frame and looked at the waveform and put that up and down based on the waveform.
Are you talking about the one that's up in the top right?
Yeah.
What? You did that work for that?
Because it wasn't because there's no way to do. You can do an animated texture on there in SFM, but you have no control over when it does what. So the only way for me to actually do it was I just took the same texture, stretched it out 9 different levels, rendered it out 9 different times at minimum and maximum, and then
wow.
Andrew spends time on his stuff.
Because I knew it would work. I just had to take the time to do it. I don't have the audio. But so then that's how I did the audio on that. So that actually looked like it moved with the voice. And it looks completely legit. It looks like it works. 9 net renders ended up being the magic number for when I tested it to actually make it work. But it was so much vertical space that it took up to do that because I had to have.
Or then you had Little Pip lick a hot dog instead.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I had to work like this. Okay, so this is what it looked like when I was working on it.
Jesus.
It took up so much vertical space that I changed my resolution to 1080 by 1920, and I turned my monitor sideways, and so I worked on the vertical space. And it worked! And I was able to see all 9 at one time, and then I just went through keyframe by keyframe, and I turned on and off things.
Master disaster.
So yeah, I just looked into that because I really didn't. At that time, I knew nothing about After Effects, and for me to go and try to figure out how to make all the audio do that automatically, I would have just been able to do it this in that time. So I just said fuck it. Went this route instead because I knew I wasn't going to need to know it for anything else. But
Eat it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I did that for other things too in here. Like, it's the same thing on here. All of these are all the different things that come up on our Pitbuck are all separate renders, and then I just swapped them. That's all that was, because the Pitbuck didn't have any extra skins, so I couldn't actually animate it within there without having the person that made the model add skins to it. I'm like, fuck that. Let's do multiple renders. Where else did I do that for? Because I know that was one of them. I did it again for like when her Pitbuck is blinking here.
Where did you learn how to do that?
This?
how to do multiple renders and then stack them like that.
It was I had the idea.
How did you?
I thought about. I'm like, how can I have things fade together? So because I wanted to figure out I was like, because I know I could take 2 videos and fade them to make them fade from one shot to the other. But I'm like, but what happens if I take 2 exact same renders? So I took 2 separate renders, put them on top of each other, and they were identical. So I'm like, okay, so SFM doesn't change anything randomly. So I did a test. It's always easier to find it out too. Because I wasn't sure how that concept worked, so I wanted to see if I took it to its extreme. That was probably page 5. It's old. Probably older than this. Here it is. No, wait, no, that's not it. That's the actual one. I used that same map book. Where's my fate test?
I don't know.
No, I made it super long ago because it was like early on that I was like, I need to figure out if this will work. And I uploaded it because I wanted to show some people. I'm like, hey, dude, you could do this. There it is. So this is 2 renders within 2 different maps.
Oh, this
And
is
the
listed.
only thing I did was copied the camera and the pony, put them into a different map, loaded them both in exactly the same. So 2 completely different save files, 2 different renders. And then I first tried to see, could I fade them together? And it worked perfect. You couldn't even, and since the motion of the camera and her are the same, it doesn't matter. I can fade from one to the other, and the only things that will stay the same are whatever I wanted to stay the same. And then I also tried overlaying both at the same time, and you can actually render that. So she looks perfectly clear within 2 different worlds.
Interesting.
Um,
I'm please so hungry. Yeah, that's really cool.
So because I did that, I'm like, holy shit, that opens up a fuckload of doors. So that's what I was like, well, if I can do anything, only thing that ever looks different is whatever you specifically change. So I'm like, well, if I change a texture, I can do it. I'm like, it's possible, it's just going to be fucking annoying.
Is it fading in After Effects though? Or
Yeah.
not in, yeah.
No, you can't do that in SFM.
That's what I thought.
So I have to plan that out. So that's why, like, I originally rendered out this shot. Like, I tested that before I even got to this video because I knew that there was this part right here that I had to move from inside to outside. There was no other way to do it.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So if you do 2 different renders, as long as you bake the procedural bones on anything, and there's no particles or volumetric lights. Volumetric lights have a thing on them called noise strength. It creates a random texture that's added to it. It's random. You have no control over it. So if you do 2 separate renders and overlay them, the volumetrics will act differently. If you put noise strength to 0, it will go away, but it kind of removes some of the life that a volumetric light has. Also, particles. Particles will actually act the same within the same time. So if you rendered this video from 10 to 20 and then rendered it from 10 to 20 again, they would be identical. But if you rendered 10 to 20 and then 20 to 30, if it was a loop, everything with 10 to 20 and 20 to 30 was the same, it would not look the same. So that you don't have control of. Because it's all locked to, on the particle. I know what particle here. I just don't remember the name. Oh, there it is. Particles have a seed. This is right here, and that number. If I were to take this particle, copy paste it, or like save all the pieces of the particle, put it in another file, and it had that same seed, it would act exactly the same too, for the amount of time from when it starts. I had a problem where, or if you have a particle start, say right here, and it goes for 4 seconds and keeps going, and then like you took it right here and you split this video up, and then you took your set time scale and you're like, I want to have everything go super slow-mo, and so you do 0.25 and suddenly this is going slow-mo, which actually works. It's an interesting thing that SFM does. The particle, its time is now at 0.25, so its start point is no longer considered here. It's considered to be way back here. So, or it'll still start there, but then it won't, the particles won't suddenly slow down. You have to actually figure out where its new start point is for the slowdown that you did. I tried figuring that out, and that was just too much math, and then I said, fuck it. Yes, the red effect is a particle. What I did for the Candlelight is it was actually they're out in the skybox here. The skybox is this little 1/32 scale model that's out past the map. If you actually go outside the borders into the 3D skybox, you can see it. So that's what this is. And so I put these little teeny things in here, and that put them out there in the distance. So it's just actually just a 2D model, and then I created an alpha layer in the shape of Canterlot, and that was all it was. So it wasn't 3D in any way, it was just literally a shadow of Canterlot. But the this was a particle effect. It's not showing now though. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it was that actual particle effect. It was a very simple one, nothing complex. But then I did check and you can actually see particle effects in what is Canterlot?
Panakuchen.
I don't know
You shouldn't. It does sound like whining because transferring over 3D models into like something like UE4 is even worse. It's even worse. It's a nightmare.
Remember to do the @ArgoDamon if you want to talk to him, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you say the @ArgoDamon, it does the highlight, which comes in handy. No, you don't have to, like, I mean, you don't need to know a lot to make great stuff. Like, I had no idea what I was doing when I, like, where's my things here? Like, this was the first GIF I've made. And that was just a stupid little particle that like was already pre-made, and this is just me looking at a skybox. I didn't make the background; that was just a skybox or something. And this isn't even the old models; they're not the current models. But so I didn't need a super complex anything. Well, and actually, wait, no, that isn't a particle. I forgot. That's actually I don't know how to do particles, so that's a alpha layer in Photoshop. Overlaying going through there.
Really?
Yeah. I just found it. I just made the random cloud that you can do in Photoshop. You put the you do an overlay on it so that it makes partially just have that go up. That's it.
Huh. Well, yeah.
But that's old. That's 2013.
You finished late.
But I mean, like even here, like this is stupid.
I'm amazed.
I just took, I think that's the walking animation or something, and I just like added that on to her make her splash. It's funny.
Yes, it's really good.
But don't worry about making about great stuff right away. It takes time.
You're gonna make terrible garbage at first.
Yes, you do.
You're gonna make terrible,
and it's good.
Terrible garbage.
It's by fucking around and making mistakes that you learn.
Yep.
So.
What do you mean I shouldn't have rendered that in 60 frames per second?
The water model.
Apper.
We're doing the. Yeah, it is. It's a water model from the workshop, and then
well, so you're just overlaying a water splash texture on top of the water.
Yeah, there's a splish splash texture, and then I just had a little splash.
They're in source film. There is no such thing as a volumetric water. It is a layer, and that is it.
Mm-hmm. That is literally this one. I have it in this map too.
Terrible, terrible trash.
Right there.
Sparkle kind.
Terrible, terrible trash.
Is it sparkle?
I think it does say Sparkle Kyle, yeah. I'm not sure why though. The gloss over them? I've worn glasses since I was 10 years old, bro.
Wow.
Not sparkle.
Yeah, this one. And later I just threw shit everywhere. Once I got the light set on this, all I did for this shot was look at it and say, where can I put more shit? Because like it's very specific angle I was working from. So I just cared from down at this angle, looking this direction, what do I need to put everywhere? I was originally adding in a crap load of grass, like actual grass models everywhere. It felt like it wasn't, if I did that, then it made everything else look simple. So I just got rid of it. It didn't work. Yeah, I had a work light here at the beginning here because I needed to work with it with an actual light on. I can't remember why I couldn't just turn off the lights. Oh yeah, that's why, because it just actually makes things hard. So I had a work light and it's crap. Anyways, yeah, that's that thing.
Do you do a terrain feature yourself?
Most of these are made with particles.
No, the train.
Huh?
The train that's standing on. Do you do the terrain features yourself?
The which features?
The train. Did you do the terrain yourself?
Train?
Terrain.
Oh, terrain.
I
No,
heard
the ground.
train.
Yeah, I heard train.
Sorry.
I'm like, where's there a train?
It's my Minnesota falling out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
No, the actual map itself
Blarp.
is.
That should be not falling out of your mouth. You can do it! Stuff it!
It's so much taco. I'm gonna
That's a burrito, not a taco.
Okay, this is what the.
Still Mexican food.
This is what it looks like. Oh,
So all Mexican food is a taco.
Yes.
This is what the actual map looks like. It's just a rough terrain. There's a day version of it, a desert version of it. This is a version that was rendered that has complete blackness.
Gotcha.
So night.
But that's why at the very beginning here, it tells me what to put. I had to do my skybox overrides so that otherwise the without those, it, like Let me show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like without the skybox overrides. The sky is no longer silhouetted. But with the when I set the override to those exact values I had, then you get the silhouettes of these mountains kind of in the distance. Yeah, this map is actually very old. It's been around for a very long time. So most people should have it. But with a couple additions, you can, like, just having these things pop out of a hill. I can add sharp angles by adding bones and just plants and everything. I mean, I just, like, before I wanted to add some kind of extra hill here because I didn't want to have this city going into the distance. So I added a hill there to cut it off. And that's literally just jammed some, like, things up in there and just, like, fuck it. And then I just didn't care. That was good enough for me. I don't think there's anything else with that.
He's looking for your finger.
No. I like this render is probably pretty bad because I could have probably dropped that tree count by quite a bit. But I just said whatever. It really wasn't making a difference on the render too much because it was pretty efficient as it was. Okay, prompt water. Is there any ways? Looks like it's clicking. Oh, what? I think your link is wrong.
Zoinks, you've taken a wrong turn.
It's watching my mouse. Look at that kitty.
Fucking. Don't trust that giraffe. It has a top hat. That freaking giraffe is gentrified.
Where the hell did you end up?
I don't know. This is fun though. I think your link's broken. Can you try again? Oh wait, there's a period. I bet you that's it. Yeah, look at that.
Where it looks like it's...
Oh, if you're trying to take the water model and stretch it that big,
It does really... Yasha, that does look
kinda
fantastic. It looks stylistic. You know what that water reminds me of? It reminds me of, that...
the thing is it's a picture. When it's moving, it probably looks like shit.
Well, yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, that the water... I mean, even if it's just a picture, it reminds me of that, that game with the girl who can turn back time with... it's really new. It's very new.
No, it's gonna always look like it's gonna clip because it's semi-transparent. The only way to make it so it doesn't is to turn off the semi-transparency, because it's making it so that you can see the parts of the model behind it. And in transparency in SFM doesn't work very well. So if you remove the transparency aspect of the water, which would be
Bookkeeper just found that book. Well, all of your dreams are coming true because I'm literally going to be looking at a book and writing notes about it for tomorrow.
Oh my god.
So, Book Horse Human is...
Book Horse Human
literally
runs a book club.
Literally runs a book club, so...
And is now learning class. Hitler says, haha, yes! And Michael is cooking tacos.
Damn straight he is.
Let me guess. Fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
I'm betting.
oh, it's refract. That's a little different. So I'm not seeing anything that makes it semi-transparent. It might be the refraction part of it.
What kind of club does Luna run?
But
Waifu Club?
that's weird. No. So if that's the case, I'm not sure, because I was expecting some kind of an alpha thing on there, alpha tester, transparent or translucent, but
Hot dog tacos?
That doesn't sound right at all.
Ew!
so yeah, I am not sure.
I don't condone
I swear
hot
that
dog
there's a
tacos.
way to just label it or something.
Start fucking raining.
Like here. See, this one's right now not translucent. So that I don't know if that one you have is. Unless you have a different one than I have. Waterboy's not bad. But I mean, this water, is it this water model that you have? The one from the Kins? Whatever that is? Oh, so you are using the same one. I'm not sure then.
I'd be up for Oreo brownies, but can't have peanut butter.
Hot!
No, I don't.
Right here.
Occasionally you have sugar.
Yeah, occasionally.
You definitely have peanut butter.
Okay, so you can see, like, right now I can't see anything behind there, but if I set my skin to the third one, that has a translucency to it, so it's actually set to be transparent to some degree. Right now it's just showing me the alpha stuff, or the ambient occlusion for some reason. This thing. Which is weird. But it should be Then you can just add override. That's what I mean. Translucent. So yes, it did. Didn't work, but it might be one of those weird things that doesn't work that way.
What was court?
Oh,
Cold and sad.
you're cold and sad.
What a horrible thing to say. Yeah, Luna, you're right. We are all crazy. We're all nuts.
Actually, you're warm.
I'm always wrong.
Well, that is a low. Yeah, so... Oh, I did. Receive that trick. Fix it. Yes, it did. Okay. So try turning out translucent. The water's not going to be transparent in any way. It should still create that kind of a reflective-y looking thing. But translucent, only two things... There's three things that will cause transparency, but the two ones that are used for like partial transparency, like of pieces, is translucent and alpha test. So if those are on there, that's going to be causing your transparency issues. Alpha would do it too, but it's not usually used for making like certain things transparent. It's for other reasons. I'm not sure. It's kind of a stupid one. And even so, I turned off a lot of the stuff because I've used over time. I wouldn't be surprised if I just shut off the translucency. I don't see it on here anymore. I think I might have deleted them. But yeah, if you see alpha test or translucent, try those. If that doesn't work, then there's some stuff about refract that I just don't know. So, buddy, I'll help you.
Yes.
But with how refract works, you can replace the texture with just about anything you want. Because like.
What about it?
How these are grabbing? They're just grabbing like.
West side and soul.
I think some just random ones here.
Oh, it says delicious ice cream. Chicken and beef tamales.
So it's the kins, water. Okay, so it's just grabbing this. That's literally all it's using for the water.
Well, they don't even have a normal
Is
water,
this-
do they? I'm pretty sure they don't.
All the other stuff that it's doing. Well, that's for 2. 2 is, I think, on mine. We're looking.
They don't have a normal
No, that's
for the
good.
water, do they?
So a lot, all the lighting and the aspects of it that make it water are all based on the light that's hitting it, and a lot of this other stuff. So, like, I think this is that white. Not only is the white line, but it's based on other stuff in the map that's causing it. So it's not. You can change it to anything you want. Like, you could still go in here and like add color. Oh, I thought it worked that way. I did that once before. Which one of the other ones?
What do you want? Starbucks made him.
Ah!
Oh, you guys.
Sea of gold!
You know.
The sea shall flow with blood! So, you can change colors. That's actually kind of cool.
It's a sea of blood.
Ew. Kyle, next time tell us before you have to go to the bathroom.
Wait, we'll make
Shepard is asking a question.
radioactive pit. Oh, look at that.
Ooh. Glowy. And cancer-y.
Let's see if we go blow it way up.
Make it purple. Make it into the taint. I think Shepado was asking you a question.
You have a problem
Something
if I use
breathing
YouTube
something.
video from you as a Steam background. Taking a breather. It's a video? I mean, yeah, if you want to. I've, oh, Steam background. Oh, picture, okay. I think that was just from a picture. Yeah, if you want to use it as a background, that's fine. I have, I'm trying to add stuff for wallpaper engine. I just haven't gotten around to it. But. Alright.
Babe.
Oh,
The water is angry.
It's really cool. It looks fucking really It's cool looking.
Make it look bubbly.
It's very impressive, yeah.
That's kind of cool. Bobber. It's like living water. Actually, that turned out pretty good, actually, for just random bullshit.
It's the smooth.
No, like I made it watery.
It's all jaggedy.
I'm just trying to get rid of these ones.
Beats.
I don't know which one's causing the extreme there. No, I just added some jitter or whatever and actually made it look pretty good for just randomness.
You got nuts.
It's smooth as green, right? This. It's the smooth. Or got beer.
Oh my god, a beer lake. Oh my god. We could die in there. It would be the best death.
Beer everywhere.
The best death. If I could drown in beer, it would be my one
Kyle,
true dream.
Here's your dream. It's
a beer moon.
It's flying beer.
Goodbye, beer.
Bye, beer.
Bye, beer. Oh, beer, come back.
Actually, I have to remember that for doing that. It actually turned out like. Let me make it small here.
Bye, beer. I know it looks like a piss puddle. Just shh. It's beer. It's beer. I drank a 12-pack.
You want to hear something really funny that other people might like?
No.
Is that more beer?
No. So my friend, her job got temporarily moved into a warehouse that used to be a crematorium.
Oh, my beer.
But the oven is, you know, cemented shut. But somebody put a nice little piece of wisdom above it and says, "Cremation is my final hope for a smoking hot body."
It's dark.
It was so cool.
Dead people got turned into
That
fire
actually
dirt
turned
there.
out pretty good.
It's a beer puddle. It's a beer puddle.
So really, all I did, because those that weren't watching, for making easy water, is I just like hit this fucker with like a shitload of jitter. So it has a bunch of bones, which made this. Actually, I'm gonna put more jitter. We need more jitter. There we go. Then I stretched it out because I didn't want it being so fast. But then it's like it goes from one point to another. So there's this nifty little tool called a stagger. And stagger works where it will shift everything along an axis, or all different bones in opposite directions at random amounts. But you can't just do a selection like this; it doesn't work. You have to actually like do a selection with fall-offs. So I just select a section here, and I'll hit stagger, and you actually see that they shift and move a little bit to the sides. So I'm going to hit that with stagger a couple times to move those around, then we move a little bit further. Stagger. A little further. Stagger. And this is breaking it up so they're not on such a keyframe look. Oops. Fine. And then I'm just going to select that, and we're going to hit it with smooth a bunch so that it's not so jagged on its motions here. So, all right. And that's all it was. So, that was actually turned out with pretty good looking water stuff. And if you really wanted to, you could like grab some of these actual bones and try shifting a little bit more, which is exactly what Stagger did, and it'd probably get a pretty good result too then. So yeah. I mean, I just tried it now. Stagger's pretty nice. I've used Stagger before for like if you have one motion that's repeated over and over and over and over again, you can hit Stagger on it with just little parts of it, and you can add randomness to the motion by changing just slightly how everything's timed. And so, if say this is your keyframe and this is your keyframe, but this is the in-between motion, you could like grab this part of it and hit Stagger, and this part with Stagger, and you could rearrange it, but they would both still end up at the same position at the end. So.
He's on the docky.
That's on the docky again.
It is a very comfy pillow.
He always has to lay on the docky.
He loves Epona's butt.
Yeah, either he likes Epona or.
But anyways, so, but I still have to eat tacos, so I'm gonna like cut that here. So, going back, I'm not gonna get too much done. So, because I want my tacos, and but I don't want to like crunch on the stream. So, that, but
Crunch. I'm crunching.
So much garbage.
Look out! If you guys ever want to see like stuff that I've been made before, have me explain things about it, or to see it behind the scenes, I don't care why. Just let me know. Stop by me at all. Sometimes it's better you learn more from example. So, yes, I do love the tacos more than you.
I haven't found a Lunodaki that I like.
But I'm gonna spend like 10 minutes eating tacos, but I spent like over 3 hours with you. So who's got more love?
Where's Mitch when I need him?
So yeah.
Poor Mitch.
And he says, "Have fun, book human."
Book human? Have fun, book human?
So yeah. But I will be back
Lunar.
next Tuesday to work on stuff more and all that junk. So yeah. Alright. Have a good night. Have a kitty. There's a version of that where it's the cat right behind and says surprise butt sex, and then that.
Surprise butt sex.
Oh my guys, read fast butt sex.
That guy's.
Guy. I have it as this as my desktop because, or the One Punch Man because I usually have animated wallpaper, but it disables when I turn an arrow off for the stream. That's fine. And so this is my default because it thinks it's funny. Anyways, all right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Where's my book?